Hello, welcome back. This is Gabriel once more from NgahTech Group. So today we are going to be looking at how can we actually find the area of a rectangle by accepting two values from the users and then outputting the result. Okay, so I'll quickly write down the code here so that to make the video a bit shorter. So in this our case, we have all the values have been declared with a data type of floating point. We have the length, we have the width, and we have the area. Now the first thing we have to do is to accept the first value from the user. On our previous video, I discussed about displaying the area of a rectangle after actually with predefined values already inputted, okay, already declared and assigned. That one is easy. But in this our case, we are moving more now towards creating a small application where we can actually accept values from the users and then we perform the calculations and then we display the results. Okay, so what we have here, we have printf, enter the length, okay. Now that length is going to be stored. So the scanf function is used to store values that the user inputs. Okay, whenever a user inputs a value, we use scanf to store those values. So we are going to store the value now by using the ampersand. Okay, this ampersand permits us to store the values, okay, inside this length that we have declared as a floating point variable. Okay, so now what do we have? We have scanf ampersand length, indicating that the value that is going to be stored inside this length is going to be what? A floating point variable. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is to accept another variable or another number, and that is going to be stored as the width. Okay, now after that we are going to perform some calculation, which means that, as we all know, the area of every or of a rectangle is length times width. So we perform the calculation, which is area to be equal to length times width, because area is already declared here, you don't have to declare it again. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is to print the result. Now 0.2 here means that we are going to display two decimal points. Okay, we can put it 3 if you want. Let's try this one, and then the return, which is the return the end of the function main. Okay, let us run and see our result. So enter the length, we put the length to be 6, and then we'll press enter. Enter the width, we put the width to be 5, and then we'll press enter. Our value is going to be 30.00. Okay, so enter the width too as well. Okay, now if we want this to be, if we remove this and then we just simply put that, let's see what is going to happen. We run it again and then we say enter length 5, width be 8, and then our value is, so we have, by default we are having about 5 or 6 decimal places. Okay, so that is how it is being run, and how you can find the rectangle of the area of a rectangle by asking values from the users. Let us run another one by displaying, for example, 5 and then enter. We enter the width to be 8.555555. Okay, let's see the result. You see, by default it's still going to give us 6. Okay, but now if is that we mention 0.2 here, means that at the end of every, that is 0.2. Okay, that is, so we have 0.2. Okay, now we run this one and then we put 5.888888. Okay, and then we enter the width to be 2, and then we multiply. You see, only 2 decimal places are going to be displayed. Okay, that is how you can actually find the area of a rectangle by accepting values from the users. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on our next video. I believe this video was helpful. If it was helpful for you, please kindly subscribe, share, and like our videos. Thank you, and see you on our next video.